the idea is what I need to know first and foremost is what is the product, and not just what is the product, but what category of product are you in, where you produce it, and what kind of margins do you work on. We want to understand everything, all aspects of the product, because there is nothing more important to a business than having a good product that actually can sell and distribute throughout wherever their channel may be, or whatever their supply channel is, wherever their distribution is. The other aspect of your product is where you produce it. Most companies go into business thinking, okay, well, I'll just get produced like everybody else does in China. And since China is requiring me to prepay them up front, that's what I'll do. Well, that's not always the case. You can always go back to your supply chain and ask for terms. And that is, if you get nothing more out of this, asking for terms is the key. And then the next thing is, when it comes to product, is understanding your margin. Margin is huge. It's huge to your cash flow. It's huge to your success of your business. It's probably the number one thing I would say is your margin. And if you're going to be successful in the fashion business, and unless you're in a high volume fashion business, which has its other difficulties, you have to have a good margin. You have to be working on at least a 2 to 2.5 margin. So I will ask every client that we work with, what kind of margin do you work on? And when I ask for margin, what I'm really referring to is, what is your cost of production? What is your landed cost? And what are you able to sell it for? Because everybody out there goes and tries to get a line of credit from a bank first. And I totally get it. It's the cheapest. Why not? But the things you need to understand about a line of credit from the bank is, yes, it's the least expensive form of financing because they're banks and their cost of funds are very, very low. So, and you want to keep your financing costs low. You don't want to go crazy in your financing costs, but your financing costs are not as important as getting the funds that you need to run and grow your business. Because the more available money you have for growth, the more money you're going to make with that growth. So I would worry a little less about your financing costs as you do getting the right type of financing to grow the business. So the way we assess a direct-to-consumer business is we look at, well, how much are you delivering? What's your historic numbers? What's your trend? Are you doing 50,000 a month in direct-to-consumer business? And is that trending upwards? Now it's 70, and 2 months from now it'll probably be 80 and 90 and 100 and so on and so forth. Is it trending that way? Is it pretty stable? Is it just doing like 50,000 hours a month? I'm using these numbers because this is what I need to know. And then what we can look at is we can look at that constant flow, and we can put a line of credit in place based on that average monthly sales for you to be able to use that line of credit to be able to carry a certain amount of inventory for at least 3 months worth of shipping. And you can constantly use that line of credit to keep that inventory position where it needs to be so you can continually ship out product.
Well, thank you very much, Tim. That was great. You know, it's an in-depth view into this world of financing that so many of us don't understand, and so many of the young brands that are trying to expand are having issues with. So it's great information.